Thanks for tuning in to Real Talk and Whatnot, you guys. I'm your host, Micah Daly. And before our ads start with the lovely sponsors of this podcast, I want to talk about one thing real quick. We got merch, people. We got merch. So the new symbol, I'll put it right here. The new symbol, I got a palm tree and a pine tree. And the reason I decided to do this for Real Talk is that this is a podcast all about the Central Valley. So I want to represent something in a symbol that represents the Central Valley. And if you guys don't know, if you ever drive down Highway 99 south and in Madera, in the middle of Highway 99, there is a pine tree and a palm tree. And if you look up online where the palms meet the pines, it'll give you that exact location. And that exact location is the center of California. And so nothing represents the Central Valley more than pine trees and palm trees, because that is where they come together. Obviously, not literally, but, for the sake of this, that's where they come together, right here in the Central Valley. So that's what I did with this symbol. So we got red hats right here, and I kind of wanted to I'm going to wait before I post anything on social media. I'm going to let this podcast come out, and if you guys want to buy a hat, that's awesome, because I'm going to give you guys first dibs, the people who are listening to the podcast. So if you guys would like to buy a hat, please let me know. They are $30 each. They're dad hats. They are quite comfortable, and I really do love the material. So if you want to help the show, help support the podcast, and, wherever you are, even if you're, in another city or anything like that, I can always ship them off to you guys for however much the shipping is. I want to see the Central Valley grow. So thank you guys again for listening. I truly, truly appreciate your support, and listen, please, to my wonderful sponsors. This podcast is brought to you by Marcus Rodriguez. If you're looking to buy or sell your home in this competitive market and you're not too sure where to start, look no further than Merced's preferred realtor, Marcus Rodriguez. He will make the transition go as easy as possible, and you can reach him at 209-554-1715. Again, that's 209-554-1715. Visit his website, www.myagentmarcus.com, or email him at info@myagentmarcus.com. This podcast is also brought to you by Duffy.Murphy. Whether you need studio time, mixing and mastering services, or someone to clean up your podcast audio, he's your guy. And trust me, because he's my guy. Now, you can get a hold of Duffy by emailing him. His email is duffy.murphy@yahoo.com. Once again, that's duffy.murphy@yahoo.com. Or you can find him on Instagram. That's @DuffyMurphy. This podcast is brought to you by Thore. If you're in the Central Valley area and you're looking to get a tattoo, look no further than this dude right here. He's a versatile artist that specializes in black and gray realism. He's located in Merced at the Merced Tattoo and Piercing Company. And if you'd like to get in contact with him, the easiest way to reach out to him is through Instagram or stopping by the shop. So his Instagram is @_Thore with 5 E's. So that's @_THOREEEE. And once again, thank you guys for tuning in to Real Talk and Whatnot, a Central Valley podcast. I am your host, Micah Daly, and I'm a filmmaker and photographer based out of the Central Valley of California. If anybody out there needs any wedding films, commercial work, photography work, real estate videos, real estate pictures, music videos, anything in between, let me know. I'm your guy. You guys can contact me at 209-769-4596. Once again, that's 209-769-4596. Email me at micahdaly@gmail.com, micahdaly@gmail.com, or find me on Instagram if you want to check out the show, see all the promos and everything else. It's micah.daly. That's MICAH.DIELE. Thanks for tuning in to Real Talk and Whatnot. My name is Micah Daly, the host of the podcast, and this is a show where I highlight the talented individuals that live within the Central Valley of California, as well as people in general who are passionate about what they do. Once again, I'm going to remind you guys about, please, if whatever platform you're watching this in, just please be engaged in it. That's really all I can ask. So whether you're watching it on YouTube, that means you're subscribing to my YouTube channel, giving a thumbs up, you're commenting, not all the time, but just whenever, you guys, you just help the algorithm show that people are into are interacting with it. And I want to give a huge shout out to anybody following me on Instagram right now. A lot of people are new, and welcome to the show. I really, really appreciate it. I really can't wait for you guys to hear this next podcast. And before I do that, I want to do some shout outs. The first shout out being my buddy Ben Douglas. Now, Ben recommended this guy for me, and this guy's name is Marco, and he is the founder of Woodfire Whiskey. And he's a really cool dude, makes freaking awesome videos, makes awesome meals. It's just, he's a really good dude, had a great conversation. But before I do that, shout out Ben Douglas. Thank you for giving me this idea, suggesting this guy. And if any of you guys have any suggestions of people, send them my way. I would love to hear them. if you guys do message me, know that I will get back to your message when I can. I've been very busy with work and other things like that, but I do appreciate the support of sending me ideas of the next guests, because the Central Valley is such a small community. It's a big community, but such a small like hometown feel that, you know, sometimes people get lost of just like there not being any type of media outsource or anything like that. So if you have any ideas, please send them my way. I'd really appreciate it. And Ben, thank you so much. Really appreciate you sparking this idea. And then I also want to mention this guy named Ray. Now, Ray emailed me, and it was one of the nicest emails that I've ever received in my whole entire life. It was just kind words that he said, encouraged me to keep on doing what I'm doing. And I can't thank him enough for those kind words. It really had an impact on me, and I just really want to say thank you, Ray. So I really, really, really do appreciate what you said. And anybody out there who has supported this show, I really, truly thank you guys. I cannot thank you from the bottom of my heart enough. I just want to put on for the Central Valley, and let's just do this together. And let's figure out how we can. All right. Now, my guest today is a dude named Marco who lives in the Central Valley of California. Now, Marco, with Marco being in the Central Valley, you know, there's always like high quality food around. So we always got, you know, if you want fresh beef, we can go somewhere. If you want fresh vegetables, we can go somewhere. Farmers markets in every single town. It's just a great place to live because this is where a lot of food is grown. It's the agricultural center of California. And Marco is just such a really cool dude, you guys. I had a great conversation with him. Dude, we instantly just hit it off. He's also a filmmaker like me. And, you know, it's so cool seeing him succeeding in the way that he is by, you know, making these cool cinematic videos that are like bite-sized, because this guy was a filmmaker. He worked on a documentary all about the Central Valley. Really, really talented dude. And then he kind of found his niche and what he likes and what he wants to do. And it's such a cool story hearing how he got there. And, you know, he went the route that most videographers and photographers do. You know, you start by, you know, trying to get some clients, then you fall into weddings and you start doing weddings. And wedding films are fun because you're capturing an event, but you're making a cinematic experience for the people to watch it at a separate day. And he talks about how he got into, you know, that, then how he got into some documentary filmmaking and all the different jobs he had, and finally what led him to his path of what he does now. And he just makes these cool, great cinematic sequences of videos of him cooking like great food, great locally sourced food. And it's so awesome that he's always shouting out the local businesses in the Central Valley. And he's just a really cool guy. And I can't wait for you guys to hear the podcast. I'm going to stop talking about it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marco, the founder of Woodfire and Whiskey. This is it. Real talk and whatnot.
Real talk. That's it. Real talk. Real talk. Real talk.
All right.
Which would you rather have?
So what do we got?
Two.
Jameson Black Barrel.
I'm just makers.
You know what? I've never had the Jameson Black Barrel.
It's actually, it's not too bad. So
Is it?
I
Let's do that one.
Yeah.
Let's give it a little taste.
I mean, also, I don't know who I'm talking to, so I don't know. I guess I should have been careful, because you drink a lot of whiskey, don't you?
I do. I have a lot. Are you recording already?
Yeah, I am. I just kind of go into it.
Yeah, I have a lot, but my preference is Buffalo Trace. I always have Buffalo Trace on hand.
Oh, gotcha.
Never
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like Basil Hayden. You like
Yeah.
Basil Hayden? I really like Basil Hayden.
Basil Hayden's nice.
That's like one of my favorite ones. And so in your videos, you always you always do a whiskey slam, right? Or what do you call it?
It's just a shot and slam. I did it one day and it kind of worked. So
especially for videos, man, it gets your fucking attention.
Oh,
so
it does.
what's your technique when you're doing one?
So I like to smell the liquor before.
Okay, here we go.
Just give it a smell.
You know, this was a question actually. It was like, how do you like properly like take a shot?
Well,
you know what I mean?
I wouldn't call this properly taking a shot.
What about how you take it?
Yeah, I like to smell the liquor before I take it. That's how I've always been. I like to sip on it, especially if we're having a conversation. We can slam it in a bit, but appreciate it a little bit. You know, in the videos, you see me slamming it all the time, but when I'm off camera, I'm just sipping it. I like to trigger some people. They'll see me take a shot of Blanton's. Shit, I've taken a shot of Pappy Van Winkle in my videos.
Yeah.
People are like, "You're shooting that? You're shooting that?"
My one of my friends was like, "I'm pretty sure that was Pappy Van Winkle." And they're just so funny because my buddies that I always hang out with, they were like, one of them was like, "I'm pretty sure that's an expensive one or whatever."
Yeah.
And then I was like, I had what did I have? I had a shot of Johnny Walker, like the blue label. I never had any type of whiskey that was like that expensive ever, and it was just like, it just tastes like, honestly, smoke to me. Like it was actually like I was like, this just tastes like smoke. I mean,
You got to open it up.
it's
with
good.
The water.
Yeah. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, I just like to smell it and just sip it.
We are gonna do
Oh yeah.
by the end.
It's coming.
All right. And then, so why don't you introduce yourself for people who may not are like, who's this guy talking to right now?
So let's see. Where do I start? My name is Marco Sanchez. Online, I'm known as Woodfire and Whiskey. You can find me on TikTok, Woodfire and Whiskey. On Instagram, Woodfire_Whiskey. Snapchat, I believe it's Woodfire and Whiskey. On YouTube, it's Woodfire and Whiskey. Just look up.
Woodfire and Whiskey, you guys.
I mean, you guys put those two names together, you're probably gonna find.
And
me.
now, where did that come from? How did you get Woodfire and Whiskey?
So I love my whiskey. I like to sit there and just kind of sip and have a good time, but it's especially a good time when you're chilling with people and you're out by like a wood fire. Like it had nothing to do with cooking. It had nothing to do.
Really?
Yeah, it really had nothing
Everyone
to do.
probably thinks that though, huh?
Yeah, and then I get shit because I use a Traeger and they're like, oh, pellets on wood. Pellets are, that's cheating. Whatever.
You get the perfect, whatever you want. You have complete control. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. So it was never about cooking. It was just about chilling with people and having a drink. But
That's cool.
Cooking whiskey, people are like, oh, you should cook over wood fire. Okay, well, I know how to grill.
And barbecuing and
I'll
whiskey.
fucking turn on these grills.
Yeah.
Too easy. So I'm just a guy that loves to cook. I'm not a chef. I grew up with a chef, but I've never.
Who was you, when your mom or dad, or
My stepfather.
your stepdad?
Yeah, he was a chef. My biological father, I never knew him, but he was like really good at cooking, from what I hear.
Oh, okay.
This guy was like 6'5". I didn't really get his height, motherfucker. But I must have gotten his cooking skills. So, but I grew up with a chef, my stepfather, and I would ask him questions.
You're always around it, kind of.
Yeah,
Just
always around good food. I've worked in restaurants. I've ran every area of a restaurant except for the kitchen. But the love for cooking, what it really is, it's I just get hungry. I'm a fucking stoner. I got the munchies like 24/7, so I'm always thinking like, what can I just put together? So cooking, a little bit of weed,
add some whiskey in there.
Whiskey in there. We're having a good time, and everybody's having a good time.
Yeah. And so what I noticed about your videos that you post is like just the quality. They're just very high quality. And so is there something like behind that? Like, have you been into video or anything like that before?
Yeah, so I've actually been a cinematographer since about, I'd say 2015 is when I probably turned the corner to become a cinematographer. But I've been a videographer since 2009. I was in the military before all of this. I got out in May 2009. When I got out the military, I had no idea what I was going to do. But I'm scrolling through Facebook one day and I see one of my friends' wedding videos. I start watching. I'm like, wow, this is beautiful. Got tears in my eyes, man. I'm gonna fucking cry hearing these vows. And I'm thinking to myself, man, this looks so dope. So I reach out to him and I ask him, like, man, you do this for a living? I knew him in high school. I knew of him in high school. I didn't really know him. We weren't like close or anything, but I knew of him in high school. And I reached out to him. Was like, hey, man, you do this for a living? This looks pretty sick, bro. It looks fun. And he invited me to come shoot with him. So here I am meeting up with them to go shoot a wedding, because a wedding video almost made me cry as a grown-ass man who just got out the military,
Man.
So,
well, fucking thank God it did, probably, huh? For you, like,
yeah,
got you into this.
Yeah, it inspired me, bro. I went to the wedding and I was just shadowing him. Man, I started going through all his stuff. He showed me one shot he took. And I got so inspired, I started looking through his bag, looking at things that he had. Okay, what am I going to need? Am I going to need this? Am I going to need that? I called the girlfriend I had at the time, and I told her, hey, I need you to order all this stuff for me. And then I spent everything I had. I think I had like $20,000, a little over $20,000. I spent everything I had on a new computer, cameras, lenses, a glide cam, all these fucking things, audio equipment. I got an H4n, and I jumped into the business of shooting videos.
Damn.
Right there.
And so you got into it through weddings, and then from there, where did your journey kind of lead you throughout like your career as a cinematographer?
So I shot weddings for 10 years, a little over 10 years. During that time, all the people that you're shooting with, they have different projects that they're working on, and they bring you on. I developed a clique of people through the guy that initially took me to shoot that wedding that inspired me. Through him, we had this network of friends that were just shooting all kinds of different things. One guy was shooting for the UFC. Another guy had, millions of weddings that were just getting booked. Someone had a music video. Then I was booking music videos, and I was booking these corporate events, and they're booking corporate events. And we were just a group of friends passing money to each other, hiring each other to do these things.
Dude, that's so dope.
Bro, it was so much fun. I did that for
so dope.
I did that for about 10 years.
That's what me and my buddy are like on year 3 of doing this. And then we just do almost every single thing together.
Bro, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's because we'd rather do it together. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like at a corporate event alone filming. You know what I mean? And if you are going to be there with somebody else, you want it to be someone that you're like having fun with. You know?
There is nothing like taking a gig and hiring all your fucking homies that you would kick it with to go shoot with you to do the gig.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I know. Oh, dude, it's me and my 2 buddies who we made that short film together. We're all doing a wedding on tomorrow.
Nice.
We're all doing a wedding, but that's what I'm saying. It's like I just relate to it so much because it is the best. Because it's like. Yeah. Like when I used to work at Starbucks growing up, and like you don't get to choose your coworkers. You got to do like something that you don't like, and like sometimes like when we're out on a job, I just have to remind myself like, hey, like yeah, you're filming a wedding, and it's like it's still work, but like you're doing it with your two good friends, and you can just chill with each other.
You can talk how you talk, right? You can say the things that just come to your head. Dude. We're not going to expose what people say at weddings or anything like that. We're not critiquing anything.
Oh, no.
By the way, but we can talk to each other how we talk. Look at this dope ass shot, man. This is fucking sick, man. I came from over here and blah blah blah.
Yeah, and then your other homie's like, oh, that is a sick shot. Like, using that in the edit, especially if you're shooting for your friend. It's like I love getting like a good shot for them because then they're like, hey, I'm really glad you got that shot, and it's just like makes you feel good too.
Bro, I got a funny story. So
let's go.
I was shooting for a pharmaceutical company. This was probably back in 2014, I think it was. I was shooting for a pharmaceutical company in South San Francisco, and I hired one of my buddies that I was going to school with. I went to school for motion graphic design in Emeryville, and I hired a lot of my teachers and some of the students to come work for me. One of the guys that I hired to come work with me, oh man, we're shooting for this pharmaceutical company. I don't want to throw their name out.
No, go ahead. I know. I was like, what big pharma, man? Huh? I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Well, we're shooting the final shot of the video, and it's these women sitting at a boardroom table, right? And there's this one woman all the way at the end, kind of a bigger woman, but they were all dressed up, looking nice. They were looking great. They had great smiles. Let's go with that. So I needed a rack shot, a rack focus. And it needed to go from this one lady putting something down on the table to the other lady at the end of the table getting up and walking over to the window. And I get the shot. It was beautiful. And we're replaying it. And one of my guys, he goes, wow, nice rack. Nice rack. This woman turned around like, the fuck did you say? Not knowing.
That's a shot.
that it's a shot. But my point is like, the way he said it, he meant to say, like nice tits. Yeah. But we were just joking around. Her tits weren't even in the shot. Yeah. Let me just be clear about that. But he says nice rack, and this woman turns around, and we had to clarify, what we meant, the rack focus. And then we showed the shot, and it was cool. Yeah. But it's so much fun working with your buddies because that's a joke we have forever.
Dude, no, exactly. And so this past weekend we did this couple's wedding in Santa Barbara or that area. And like by the end of it, like we always just become super cool with like the bride and groom. Like, we're just there to we're there to hang out with you guys for the day. Yeah. Like we're just your buddies for hanging out for the day. And the groom was like, he offered us. We got there like 10 a.m. He was like, "You guys want a beer?" And we're like, "Yeah, we'll have a beer." And he was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you guys said that." And we're like, "Cool." And then like fast forward to the end of it, he comes up to us and he's just like, "I'm so glad that you guys are the way that you guys are." And like me and my buddy just look at each other and we're like, we're really happy that we're the way we are too, man. But it was just so funny because it's like we're just this guy's boys by the end of it. And because I feel like you're doing a wedding with the groom, there's a point where the groom's like, "Oh, like you're just you're just hanging out with us, like, you
Most
know
of
what I
the
mean?
time.
Yeah.
Most of the
No,
time.
I know.
You know?
I felt unwanted many times.
Yeah, there's those awkward moments, you know. You get these friendly people; they're so outgoing. They're offering you food and drinks and shit. You know, I shot a wedding where the groom was smoking with his boys out on the balcony of the hotel they were at. They were like, "Hey man, come hit this." Okay, okay, yeah, no problem. But then there's those other ones where it's like, fuck, you feel like you're just always in the way. Mm-hmm. You start sweating,
and then like you're like, I'm supposed to be here, but like
I'm not.
Everyone's judging me for being here or something like that. Yeah,
They're judging my outfit right now. I'm wearing jeans and they're all putting on tuxedos. Bro, I'm in all black. I'm a ninja. Like, just don't even look at me.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. So, with whiskey, what are your top 5 whiskeys, and like maybe go from
Okay.
from small to big in the sense of like price wise, kind of like
Prices. I never remember prices.
not prices, but I mean like some that are fun.
Yeah.
Not like a 200.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've gotten 3 bottles of Blanton's now as gifts.
Mm-hmm.
The bottle of Pappy that I have was a gift for when I hit 1 million.
Oh, really?
One of my followers reached out to me and they were like, hey, we want to send you congratulations.
Wow, that's sick.
And she says, I'm going to send you a bottle of Pappy. I was kind of skeptical, like, why would someone do that? And then one day I get a delivery. I'm like, oh, holy shit. I got a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle. Okay, but back to my top 5.
Sorry.
All right, so number 5, Buffalo Trace, affordable. For me, I think I get it like $23.
Mm-hmm.
It's delicious.
Mm-hmm. I like
it's
Buffalo
good.
Trace. Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite one, so I always keep that one on hand. 4, let's see, that's a good one. Probably Hibiki.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Japanese whiskey.
Mm-hmm. I've heard you have had it in your videos and stuff, right?
Yeah, I had it a few times.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever had it before.
It's pretty good. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. A lot of the whiskey snobs, they talk shit about that, but I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great whiskey to me. Number 3 would probably be Blanton's.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're getting up in price, about $100,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little bit more. I like Blanton's. People say it's overrated, and I halfway agree. It's kind of overrated, but I like it. I enjoy it. I enjoy drinking it, especially since I've got it as a gift. It makes it more sweet.
Yeah, no, it does.
Let's see, number 2. Fuck. Redbreast.
Redbreast. Uh-huh.
That's a good one. Let me think. I don't want to say Basil Hayden is number 1, but it tastes really good.
I love Basil Hayden, man. It's my favorite. It's my absolute favorite because it's not that expensive, dude.
Yeah.
It's like $50 for like a good size, but like, or like 48, something like that, generally.
I started going up in price when I started numbering these out. So we'll go with Pappy. I enjoy Pappy. Especially, when you're feeling good, like New Year's, I sat outside of my backyard. I had my little grill, and I grilled up some A5 Wagyu steaks.
Dude, is that the video that you made about it?
Yep.
Or no? Dude, honestly, for some reason, that's my favorite video that I've seen. I don't know why.
I'm just sitting outside.
Yeah, I think it's just a little more, I don't know, but I really like that one.
I got a lot of those comments, and I've been thinking about, switching up my style on a few videos and doing that.
Some outside stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, it's just always in my kitchen. I'm always in the same place. I got to switch it up, especially,
Well, when summer comes around, barbecue season, stuff like that. And I guess you're just doing it with the weather, too. You know what I mean? Like, how it actually is. It's, like, not that pleasurable outside at the moment.
I cooked live outside, and yesterday. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was cold as shit, but,
At least you're in front of the grill and shit, you know what I mean?
It helps a little bit.
Yeah. That's cool. And so, I guess we haven't really talked about like what exactly you do. So kind of explain to people like the type of videos that you make and like where this kind of started from, because like you're a cinematographer for a while. I mean, for a long time. And so when did you start transitioning to like just creating content like that you have been?
So, let's see. November 2019. What was that, man?
I don't know. I think it might have been both of ours.
November 2019.
Uh-huh.
My job had sent me to LA to go do some shooting, some educational videos and stuff. When I got back, I got extremely sick. I had all these pains in my back. I went to the ER. One of my coworkers actually, took me to the ER. They did some x-rays on me. And they said, it looks like you have pneumonia. We don't know what you have. It's not pneumonia. They tested me for the flu. I didn't have the flu. They sent me on my way, right? You were hearing about COVID, in the news in other countries, but, not in the U.S. really yet.
Yeah.
So I got really sick. And I didn't quarantine. I went home.
But yeah, you just did what you do when you normally were sick.
I got better. I went back to work. I think it was like 4 days later. And then, as the months progressed, I kept having these pains in my back. Come now March, same thing happens to me. March 2020. I'm at work. I collapse. And I tell one of my buddies, I need you to take me to the ER again. Takes me to the ER. And same thing. Fucking looked at my lungs and said, okay, it looks like pneumonia. We don't know what you have. You don't have the flu. So now we had heard about COVID in the news and that you were recommended to quarantine or, that was just the recommendations. If you get it, this is what you should do. Yeah. So my boss at the time, he told me, hey, just go home for 2 weeks. Let's play it safe just in case. So I quarantined myself. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, I was getting ready to go back to work, and Governor Newsom, he shuts down the whole state. So now I'm fine. I was fine 2 days later, to be honest, but I quarantined for 14 days. Newsom shuts down the fucking state, and now everybody's working from home. So I'm working from home, and I am bored as shit. I'm still going outside, whatever, I get bored, and one day I go buy a brisket, and I decide, I'm going to make a barbecue video for YouTube. I made the video. I got like 4 views. It was amazing. Dude. 4 people watched my shit. I think 3 of them were me. Yeah. But it felt good. It felt right. So I kept doing it and making these videos, and I incorporated a little whiskey, and I was trying to give like a whiskey review while I was cooking.
You're trying to find yourself. Yeah. And I think through this podcast, that's the same thing. Like when my first 5 episodes, you go back, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm just like, and I feel like you have to throw yourself in there and get through all those times to where it's like, you're making it and you're enjoying it, but maybe people aren't seeing it or people aren't relating to it or whatever. But if you're enjoying it, then that's the best part, because you want to make all those videos when people aren't watching, so that, not when people aren't watching, just so that when you get to a point when people are watching, like, you're that much better because you made so many, not because you made one and then you got big.
Well, you start trying so many things and you find one thing that just worked. Now that's what you do. That's what you do now. And that's what's gotten me here today. But so I made a few videos for YouTube, and one day I'm scrolling on TikTok and I see everybody using a certain seasoning, in their videos. So I was like, oh, okay, all the big creators are using that. I'm going to order some of that, and I'm just going to fit in.
Yeah, exactly.
So I ordered this seasoning. I messaged the owner of the seasoning on Instagram, and I'm like, hey, bro, I make YouTube videos. I'm going to put your seasoning in my video. Thinking I'm the shit. I had 20 views at the time on my whole YouTube channel, 15 videos. 10 minutes later, the dude hits me up. He messages me back, and he was like, here's my phone number. Give me a call because I found you on TikTok, and I got some ideas for you. So, I called him instantly. Dude had like 300,000 followers at the time. I was like, 300,000. I call the guy, and he's like, bro, you got nothing but cat videos on your TikTok, but your YouTube is all food and whiskey. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you're doing it wrong. He said, to make a long story short, he basically said, delete everything on your TikTok and start over, but do what you're doing on YouTube, on TikTok, and you're going to be a huge food creator.
So what were you doing? What were you doing on TikTok though, prior to that? Sorry, man.
I
you said cat videos. Sorry.
So was these naked women. Just kidding. No, basically it was my cat. My cat was always in heat and like howling and shit. And I would just like motion with my hand a little bit, and she'd come over running, and I just rub her head. Yeah. I'd get like 100 views, 30 views, 70 views.
Oh, but just like it was just for fun. You're not even using it actually. Yeah.
I didn't know how to use TikTok.
Yeah, that's me right now, man. That's me right now.
I would open the app and like not know what I'm doing and just post a random ass fucking video. Well, one day I decided to scroll, and that's when I saw food TikTok. And I was like, okay, I like this. Oh, I like that. Everybody's using this seasoning. It took me a few days, and then I realized, I'm going to use this guy's seasoning, but I'm going to use it in my YouTube, even though I'm seeing it on TikTok.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah.
he gives me the advice and he says, delete everything on your TikTok and just completely start over. Do what you're doing on YouTube, do it over here, and you're going to be huge. I took the advice and it fucking worked. You know, it was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and throughout that whole time, I was trying to find myself. You know, one day, the video that actually made me was the one video where I put no production value into it. I set my phone up.
It just is that, dude. It is that. It is that.
It's the cringiest video. Dude, I got a tomahawk steak, the most beautiful tomahawk steak I probably ever cooked, right? I'm fumbling with it because my knife keeps hitting the bone. You know, I'm not cutting through it. I was kind of nervous. You know, I was shooting it with my phone. My cutting board is moving all over the place. You know, but finally I cut into the center, opened it up, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
That video, I went to bed and it had like 700 views, 1,000 views, something like that. When I woke up, I had 60,000 more followers.
Holy.
And that video was at like 1.something million, and it kept going and going. And I kept getting like 10,000 followers a day, 5,000 followers a day. It was crazy.
Well, and then all your other videos were starting to get watched probably from them, you know what I mean? Because it's like, they found you through that video, which, you know, like you're saying, it was the cringiest video to you as a cinematographer. You know what I mean? It's like, wasn't like all your other videos that you made. Yeah, exactly. But all you needed that one to get seen, and then they can see the real quality, or you know what I mean? Like,
well, you know, so that happened. I gained a lot from it, and you know, I just doubled down. I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And then one day I decided, the fuck am I doing? I gotta break out the real fucking cameras. I gotta be the guy that stands out in a sea of phone videos with the highest quality videos.
Yeah.
Everybody is gonna see me over the phone videos because they're gonna be like, oh my God, this is super high quality. Yeah. That was my thought process.
Your lighting is right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good lighting is everything.
And I thought that it would work. I felt in every sense of me that it would work, and it worked. I stood out, and I gained more of a following and more of a following, and I started cooking different things until one day I was like, I call myself Woodfire Whiskey. Why aren't I drinking whiskey in my fucking video?
Yeah.
Pour myself a shot and slam the glass.
Boom again.
That helped, you know, people liked it. Then one day I made cinnamon rolls. I slapped the dough like it's a I was about to, fat ass, you know, and it, you know, it worked. It kept pushing my content further and further, just doing these certain things. You know, I do cook good food.
Yeah. No, you do. No, it looks delicious, man. It looks
people have tried it. They can attest to it.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, these little things, these gimmicky things, just kind of worked. You know, it was the hook for people. You know, and I started.
You have to play the game and the reality too. Like when it comes to like that type of stuff. Like I feel like with the way social media is, you kind of gotta play the game a little bit.
When you think of how social media works for people, like what we do when we're on social media, you know, half the time people are taking a shit while they're watching videos. You know, laying in bed, sitting on the couch with the TV on. They got a TV show going on in the background, and they're still scrolling on, you know, these apps and stuff. So when you think of that, these people are looking for passing entertainment, passing, you know, pass by entertainment, and a little bit of education, maybe. You know, people will say, yeah, I want to make your recipe, but half the people don't. The other half actually do, and they, you know, they rave about it if it's good. But people just want some quick entertainment. So when you think of making these videos, you have to make them entertaining. You have to do things that make people say, I like this person, so I like the content. And this stuff is either funny, it's interesting, it's making me question things. You know, these things are happening in the viewers' minds.
And I think more recently than ever, I feel before people didn't have to be so genuine. I don't know how to explain it, but like now when like you are actually passionate about what you do, and if people can actually see that, then people they kind of flock to you. You know what I mean? I think if you do it because you like to do it, then people naturally can see that. But sometimes you like see people who have been doing something for a long time, and then you can tell they kind of fell out of it, but they're just keep going with it.
You know, naturally as people, we just like seeing people have a good time. We like seeing people smile. We like people... We like seeing people, you know, jump around like they're fucking crazy because they feel good.
Sense of community too, like the sense of just like having others around you. Yeah. I think, and like during COVID, that was all like kind of I think everyone had a better understanding or appreciation, I guess, afterwards. Yeah. And so that's why I'm so thankful that like I started COVID after this. I started this podcast after COVID, basically, and like I never really felt a sense of community before too much, but like since, like I've just felt like so many people, like just you get one message that's like tells you that hey they like what you're doing, and you're just like wow, like they took time out of their day to tell me that, like you know what I mean?
It's incredible. It's an incredible feeling, you know, getting the feedback from people. But once you understand how people actually want to see content, if you can adapt to that, you explode. You explode. Some of the biggest creators right now, you know, going hyper viral, 20 million views, 40 million views. Fuck, man, I haven't gotten a video that far yet. You know, you could tell that they understand what the audience wants, you know, and how they're viewing content.
Yeah,
you know, they're entertaining.
Yeah, they're entertainers, and just it's so funny because. You know, 15 years ago, maybe no one would even think like this is like a way of like living and like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You know, but it's beautiful, and I've been able to turn this into a job.
Yeah.
Like, not even a job. It could be a career path if I treat it right. You know, if I look at this from the right angles, this can be a complete career path and change my life in ways that I couldn't imagine. You know, it's all about perspective with it. You know, and this is an opportunity. You know, social media is an opportunity for so many people, especially when there's a new app that pops off. Vine, I think of Vine back in the day. Vine, everybody had Vine. Everybody was scrolling through Vine.
I'm so surprised Vine just...
But it made stars. Yeah. It made celebrities.
Logan and Jake Paul, dude.
Oh, Jesus Christ. King Batch.
Yeah.
Like, that dude's amazing. So many people have come from Vine, and now Vine went away, right? You have YouTube. A lot of people moved to YouTube, and they were, you know, getting big on YouTube.
Especially back then, because YouTube was like almost the
conversion.
Yeah, you had. Yeah.
You know, from Vine to YouTube. When Vine went away, all these fucking fans went to go find their favorite Vine people on YouTube.
Yeah,
and they did, and they, you know, a lot of these people became, you know, YouTube famous, and YouTube is where all the money's at.
Yeah,
but then TikTok. Now TikTok comes around. What is it? Musically first? Nobody gave a shit about that. You know, I didn't, at least. I wasn't trying to like, you know, sing to anything.
Yeah.
But TikTok comes around, and it's so new in 2020. 2019, obviously, yes. But in 2020, it's still so new. You get on this app and boom, you just hit so many followers, and you get to this level where now, yeah, this can be a job. You have so much opportunity. 2021, 2022, it's still new. There's still the opportunity for people to get on these apps, create something, get passionate about creating something, put it out there, and you can explode. And then boom, now you have kind of a career as an influencer. Influence things that you believe in and you believe in only, you know, and go for it. But it's so possible with these apps.
Dude, that was great. That was a great speech, honestly, man. I was mesmerized by that.
I was wondering why you weren't saying
No. I just like when you're like, you can influence what you believe. Like that's what I really liked about that.
And that's important.
Yeah.
You know? One of my last sponsorships was Wagyu beef tallow. When they sent it to me, I tried the product. I love it. And this is a healthier fat, you know.
So what is Wagyu beef?
So Wagyu beef tallow is beef fat.
Sorry. Beef fat.
Just beef fat.
Really?
High quality beef fat. You know, I'm not sponsored by them anymore, but I love their product.
Yeah.
You know, and I wholeheartedly believe in it. It's healthier than, you know, vegetable oil, canola oil, peanut oil, all that bullshit. It has a high smoke point of like 400 to 420 degrees, you know, so it's ideal for cooking.
Yeah.
You know, so when they wanted to sponsor me, I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. You know, there was a grill company that sponsored me. Their grill, I read about it and I felt like I believed in it, so I promoted it. You know, but my point is you get these brands. Oh, I got a sponsorship from Ardbeg twice. I love Ardbeg. You know, if you haven't tried Ardbeg, you guys should go out and buy some Ardbeg.
What is that?
Whiskey.
Oh, okay,
Irish whiskey.
Gotcha.
It's peaty. It's smoky. I like it. Open it up with a little bit of water and just sip it slowly. It's beautiful. You know, so that's a brand I believe in. I took that sponsorship. But yeah, you're going to get approached by so many brands, you know. Take on the ones that you believe in because you're influencing people.
Yeah.
The last thing you want is to, you know, promote something that you know in the long run maybe hurts someone, or just tastes fucking bad.
Yeah, or something that you just don't like. Yeah.
You know, if you like it, beyond the sponsorship, you show people that you still use it. You know, prior to the sponsorship, you show people that you use it. There's a few brands that I'm trying to get sponsored by. Buffalo Trace is one of those. So if you're listening, Buffalo Trace, what's up, baby? Take me out to dinner.
Buffalo Trace, yeah, that'd be a good one. Damn, dude. I mean, so, and then you just work with a variety of them, and through your videos, you get reached out to a lot by just different companies and things.
Yeah, but I have an agent. I work with an agency. They're absolutely incredible people, nicest people I ever met, and they work hard at acquiring deals for me. But in addition, I have to provide them my leads that I get. If I believe in a brand, then I provide them a lead. Sometimes they'll hit me up and be like, "Hey, is this something you're interested in?" And it'll be yay or nay for me. But they're incredible. They've been life changing.
That's awesome. That's real cool. And then, so how does your social media differ, like from TikTok to Instagram to YouTube? Like, I mean, just get your opinion on it all. You know what I mean?
TikTok, for the most part, it's still a kids app. There's a ton of adults on TikTok, but for the most part, it's still a kids app.
Yeah.
And, let's think of like going viral on TikTok versus going viral on Instagram. I have not gone viral on Instagram, so I can't say much about that. But going viral on TikTok, it kind of sucks at times. You get a ton of love from people. You read the comments, you get a ton of love from people, but then you get a few comments that make you go, motherfucker, man, fuck my day.
Yeah.
And you put the phone down.
One bad or negative comment, that's going to stick out more than 1,000 good ones.
Yeah, it's like, damn it, you don't like me without my hat on? I'm going to slit my wrists. Like, Jesus Christ, where's my whiskey?
Yeah.
But going viral kind of sucks. You get a lot of love and you get a lot of negativity as well. So you need to learn how to separate. I need to learn how to separate, the love from the hate and just focus on the love that people give you. I think that's very important, but that's the difference with these different apps. I haven't gone viral on Instagram, so I have no idea if the mean and fucked up comments make it over to Instagram too. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But what I can say is on Instagram, I've seen a lot of love. Now, when you go viral on TikTok and you start reading your comments, you get to see something very clear. There's a bunch of children in your comments saying stupid shit. Those are most of the trolls. They're going to be kids.
Yeah.
Is that the right audience that you want?
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, you go viral, you're fucking cool. Your video got 20 million views. You're the fucking man, bro, but you can't sell anything to them.
Yeah.
Now, posting videos is not all about selling. But you want to attract brands that can see that you have an audience to sell to if you believe in a product. And I think that's very important to say, if you believe in a product. So when you're building an audience, you need this adult audience. And you go viral on TikTok, you attract a lot of children. Now, my views stay between about 50 to 100,000, sometimes 200,000, sometimes viral. And I think that's great because when you read through my comments, there's a ton of adults, and brands would want to work with somebody who has an adult following, that where people can actually buy things. The next part is you being able to sell it. Yeah. But my point, I just want to reiterate that you're not creating content to sell shit. You're creating content to build an audience so brands can look at you and approach you, and if you believe in them, then you sell that product to your follower base. Who are actually buyers. Yeah. Versus a bunch of children who can never buy anything. Yeah. They got to ask their mommy for something.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. No, that's good. I think the way that you went about this was it was the smartest route possible in the sense of you were looking at it basically always as like a business thing. And it's kind of cool because you can probably trace it back to like that one conversation with that one guy. Or you know what I mean? In the sense of where it kind of switched for you, you know what I mean? And I think that's I think everybody kind of has that switch. Or for me, it was I graduated college, I majored in educational studies. I was going to go be a teacher. And then I kind of stopped and was like, wait, what do I want to do? Because I've just been doing what I felt like everybody else has told me to do my whole life. And then that's when I kind of got into photography, videography, and that's 2.5 years ago now. And so it's just I can really relate to your story too, and because you were about the same age when you kind of made that switch too. Yeah. And it is later, especially I know I see freaking 18, 19, 20-year-olds, and I'm like, I don't even know how you're doing some of this stuff. You know what I mean? They're amazing, and I get it because they've been raised with
technology.
Technology, yeah, exactly, since they're a child.
I come from a time of way before cell phones. We had the rollout of pagers, in my lifetime. I believe so. I was born in 1982. I believe we had the rollout of pagers in the 80s.
You could see how
I hope I'm not
pagers
wrong.
progressed throughout the stages of pagers.
Bro, my pager code, I had a pager code, 177. We would type out whole sentences on the fucking pager. Voicemail, cordless phones came out in my lifetime. And then finally the cell phone, the fucking flip phone. Who had a flip phone?
Yeah, dude. I'm honestly really happy because I was born 1993, but I still had flip phones. Like the first iPhone came out when I was in high school, but like no one had it. It wasn't like that yet. You know what I mean?
Bro, the first iPhone came out. What was it? 2007. I was in Iraq at the time, and a bunch of dudes had ordered this phone that had an MP3 player on it. That was like the big tech, You
can listen to music and use it.
Yeah.
It probably had like 3 gigs too. You know what I mean? Like
right?
back in the day.
Like 2 gigs?
Yeah.
2 gigs? Fuck, man. I remember all of that. So, we've seen this technology advance, and, these people that were born, 15 years ago, they grew up with it. That's a trip to me. Yeah. It's a trip. I recently got the Quest 2 VR headset. And I've been going inside the metaverse.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That is a strange world.
I haven't done it at all yet.
Oh man, I could see exactly what the future is going to be with that.
Yeah.
People are going to use the internet through VR, and they're going to upload their consciousness into VR and interact with the things that are in there as if it's the real physical world. I can see it. At least that's the vision I get from it.
Yeah.
Because I've been walking around and looking things, and there's this one world where you could buy like properties and shit. Why? There has to be an end game. Like, why are you allowed to buy this? It's not just a game.
Yeah.
People are going to upload their consciousness into the game at some point and interact with these things like it's the real world. They're building restaurants and bars inside this virtual world. Well, it's not, at some point, it's not cool to just float around and not really be able to take this drink, right? So at some point, I think we're 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, but people are going to be uploading their consciousness into this fucking metaverse and they're going to be walking around, and that's going to be life.
It's fucking Matrix, man.
Bro, it's crazy. And people are going to work inside there. It's no joke. It's the real
if
Matrix.
I feel like money has come in the weirdest ways in the past like 10 years, whether it's social media, freaking Bitcoin, anything, like, you know what I mean? Anything's fucking possible now. I really, truly believe that.
Yeah, technology. I mean, we've seen it, and these kids, these new adults, they're growing up with this stuff. Imagine the people that were born in 2020. When they get to 10 years old, 15 years old, technology.
I feel like when I see my nieces and nephews use phones, it's just like, it's a different way than like I use a phone. Like,
oh yeah,
they're almost like without even like, I mean, I can like use it kind of without looking, but not like, I feel like they're just like,
fast.
They can like, just like, and like the way that they're doing it, I'm like, what are you doing right now?
I mean, I'm 39, so it's like, and I'm
the permanent thumb. Like that's all I have my thumbs, but like kids would like, cause they're like learning, so they have like, all their fingers. I'm like, what? You're using it as a computer, man.
My generation was how many words can you type per minute? On a computer.
Yeah, dude.
For them, it's going to be
you
how many
practice
words.
That shit. You remember home row.
How many words can you do on a tablet per minute?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Can you think into the computer in a minute? You know what I mean?
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. So that's coming up closer than ever. Dude, that's wild. So you cook a lot of beef a lot, or you cook a lot of everything? I know that. Right? But what are your preferences on meat?
I love cooking beef, but it's, I usually cook beef, chicken, pork.
You like lamb?
Yeah, I love
I was going to say, I never realized that I liked lamb, except I had you know who the weed nuns are?
No.
They're like these nuns who live out in the Central Valley.
The weed nuns.
And basically they just grow CBD products.
Amen.
Yeah, they grow CBD products, and they dress up as nuns, and they smoke weed, and they have different enclaves all over the U.S.
What the fuck?
And they like sell CBD products, and
Nice.
they're pretty interesting. They like Vice has done a whole bunch of stuff on them. They're like super interesting people. But
I would love to meet them,
dude. Yeah, dude. And next time they have a moon ceremony, I'll let you know. So they invite me to their moon ceremonies, and they have all these like ceremonial things that they do, and like you just chill out there, everyone's getting high and stuff.
Nice.
But it's a pretty cool thing. I don't know why I brought them up, honestly. I was going somewhere with that.
You wanna slam the rest
Yeah,
of this?
let's do it.
All right, so the proper way to do this is to make sure that the entire bottom of the glass hits the wooden surface. So it's good that you have this and that these glasses they're not glasses, they're plastics.
Yeah.
But you know,
they're stronger. They're stronger plastic, man.
it works. And there's no reason for me doing it other than I think it looks fucking cool. So here we go. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
There we go.
Oh,
That's some good stuff.
you like it?
I like it.
It is pretty good.
Needs a little water to open it up, but
I
it's
can
good.
see that. Yeah, honestly, I never really. I mean, I never add water to open up shit. Like that makes sense. And there's just what does that do? Kind of just release a little more flavor into it.
Yeah, a few drops of water, it's gonna open up all the flavors.
Because I guess that makes sense. Or like even when you have a mixed drink, like when you get a little bit of ice to melt on it, I feel like it's like the purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Like Jack and Coke, when it melts just a tiny bit, I fucking love that.
Really?
Yeah,
See, I like a good old fashioned.
yeah. I like old fashions too, though.
Nice.
Those are real good. And then so, what's your setup with your camera stuff? You know, for behind the scenes of all your media.
So, my videos that I make, I'm usually I run 3 cameras all the time. There's a 4th camera that just kind of roams around. So I run a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K, a 4K, Sony ZV-E10, and a Canon 5D Mark II, 5D Mark IV, my bad. 24 to 70, 2.8, 70 to 200, 2.8, 1635, 2.8.
What do you use 70 to 200 for? On what shots?
Oh, so my side angle. So I pull the camera back and I zoom in. You get a nice little bokeh from the words in the background and the lighting. You get just a little bit of depth.
Oh, okay. Well, you keep it more like a 70 then inside?
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Okay, yeah. I guess I
Well,
was like...
I might zoom into like 100.
And this is more like a close-up?
Yeah, it's my side angle.
And do you have like your like wife or somebody who like for focusing, you know what I mean? For focusing on shit?
So when my wife is home, she helps me out. But more times than not, it's just me shooting, so I set focus to a specific spot and that's why I run so many cameras, so when I bring it into Premiere Pro, I create a multicam edit, just sync everything with Pluralize, and I go in and I just cut everything together and I have all these angles in perfect timing so I can look at all 3 of them. And
what is Pluralize, or what did you just say?
So Pluralize 4 is what I have. I think there's an updated version, but it's made by Red Giant, and it allows you to sync all your cameras together in seconds. So Pluralize, when I bring everything in,
We need
Premiere,
this for weddings. Sorry, this
you
is
don't
like,
use Pluralize for
No,
weddings?
I don't.
Do you sync everything manually?
Dude, yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, and our cameras are all off on time and stuff, so like it's just a mess.
Oh
dude.
no, Pluralize.
Okay, yeah, that's why I was like, okay, wait, hold on, what are you saying right now? Because this sounds like something we would use and save so much time.
When you install Pluralize, it installs inside of Premiere Pro as an extension. So I have, my four angles. I go up to Windows extensions, Pluralize, synchronize, and it synchronizes all of my footage. It's done within a couple of minutes, and I just go in there and I just start cutting things up.
And how does it? And what it just starts? It just puts it in order of when they were shot, pretty much.
Goes off the audio.
Really?
So imagine you have bride and groom, right? Those 2 angles. You have a mic on the groom. Maybe the bride is only just close to the officiant.
exactly.
The officiant's mic'd up. You got the middle angle, left and right. You bring those 3 cameras into Premiere Pro, and you when you use Pluralize, it's going to find the audio. So it's just going to sync it up. It might be off by a hair, and you got to move it, but that's easy.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
That blows my mind. But it does it through the audio. So like, let's say it's not going to do it for like us doing all the clips. You know what I mean? Like
it could do it through time code, audio.
Oh, okay, you can do it through time code. Okay.
Yeah. So like, if all of your cameras are timed right, then you can go off the time code and it'll sync through time code at whatever time of the day that it happened.
Man, dude,
so
changing my life, man. You're making my life easier, man.
Hell yeah, I've been using Pluralize for years.
Yeah, dude, and it's funny because so me and my buddy Jimmy, who we always do all our photography and videography gigs together, and so we what did we fucking do? Oh, sorry. Oh, we're talking about Pluralize. Fuck. Oh man, I forgot.
Syncing up audio.
Syncing up audio. I don't know. I had a story. And now
I'll tell you one story. Well, this may have happened to you too, but imagine you don't collect any audio from one of them. The officiant's audio isn't working, but only the groom's is, or both of those just didn't work out,
Yeah.
and you're plugged into the DJ,
Uh-huh.
and that comes out like shit.
Uh-huh.
Oh, bro. When you have to sync up all the cameras to one shitty sound
Mm-hmm.
with no audio reference to go off of, like you halfway plugged in the microphone on your DSLR,
Yeah.
and it didn't collect any
it's like,
audio, so it's just
making weird
blank.
noises. Yeah.
Just have to having to read their lips to line things up, but having to line it up to shitty audio. That's happened to me before.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, bro.
Dude. I've had that too, where like audio was such a hard thing for us to have to like finally get for weddings. And so what was your go-to? Just lapels?
So I had H1s.
Okay, yeah, I know exactly.
So
yeah.
I would put an H1 on the groom,
Mm-hmm.
an H1 on the officiant, and my buddy had this really cool rig for brides where he would put like this band around their legs, and it had a pocket that held the receiver, and he would drape the mic up into the bouquet, or just right into the middle of her chest.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I never mic'd up a bride.
yeah. I always just officiate or
Just hope it works out.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm like, whatever. I've seen there's so many people have so many there's especially on YouTube if you look up anything, so many different like ways to do shit.
I would always plug into the DJ as a backup, so I'd mic up the officiant and the groom, so I'd have two angles for the bride, and then I would plug into the sound system and just hope that the DJs don't fuck something up.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Motherfuckers.
That's hella funny. Oh, I finally remember what I was going to say earlier. So you're telling me that all about plural, or what it's called?
Pluralize.
Pluralize. And so me and my buddy, when we edit on Premiere, like I will be doing something a completely different way than he does something on Premiere. You know what I mean? And he'll be like, wow, I never knew you could do that. And like he'll do something. I'm like, how did you do that? Like, you know what I mean? And it's just so funny because Premiere is like one of those programs where you can do like things a certain way, and like there's like 4 or 5 other ways to do that same exact thing if you like know what you're doing. You know what I mean?
My Premiere Pro is set up with my own hotkeys for everything. So like when I'm editing, people trip out because I sometimes I don't have to move the mouse. I could just hit hotkeys and do my thing.
That's
sick. But yeah, I have it all set up. I mean, if I knew what someone didn't know, then I can.
Yeah.
Like I used to teach Premiere Pro too.
Really?
Yeah. I got a certificate in it. This was a long time ago though, but back then I knew it, and then all the new things rolled out.
You see all exactly.
Yeah.
You've been there. You've got to learn like step by step of Premiere's progression. That's sick. Dude.
I love it too.
Dude, that's so sick. Especially coming from somebody who like I really appreciate it, man. You know what I mean? And the ability that Premiere gives us, and then that's why I'm like. Lot to learn, man. Lot to learn.
Hell yeah.
And then so I was bringing up the wheat nuns earlier because we talked about lamb. And so the first time I had lamb, sorry, man, I've been all over the place. Give me 1 shot of whiskey and I can't even think right. No, and they had this the lamb riblets from like some Greek place, but I was like eating it and I didn't realize lamb would be like, brown like beef. Like for some reason I assumed it was going to be like kind of like how pork is or something like that. But it was so good, and since then I've been on like a little lamb crave, like, and just cooking it, and I don't know, I just love it. I love lamb.
Yeah, I cook all kinds of proteins. I mean, I'll cook anything. It don't matter.
Anything at all.
Yeah, as long as I get hungry, we're cooking something.
What's your perfect temperature for a steak?
I'd say 128.
128?
128.
That's funny.
That's the sweet spot.
Do you know who like Bert Kreischer is at all?
No.
Oh, he's a comedian. I went to see him yesterday in Fresno. But he had somebody open up for him, and it's a stand-up comedian who like cooks barbecue all the fucking time. But he just said he was like talking, and then he was like at one point he was just like, before I head out, I just want to say the perfect temperature for a steak is 129 degrees. But like it's like right there though. That's what that reminded me of.
That's the perfect.
Yeah.
Like when I reverse sear, I'll put a steak on the
and
smoker.
Reverse sear is you smoke it and then you sear it, right?
Yeah. I'll put it on the smoker, 225, until it reaches about 110. What happens is when you pull it off, that steak isn't just going to start cooling down. The temperature is going to keep rising. And on average, it rises 11 to 15 degrees. That's what I've seen.
Really? So
I always count on it reaching 11 degrees higher. So I get it to 121, and I see this every time I cook like a big-ass tomahawk. It gets to about 121, 122, and then I go to sear it. That temperature starts coming up a little bit more. Let it rest. right?
How long do you let it rest? Yeah. So like after you sear it, you let it rest for how long?
About 15 to about 20 minutes.
I was gonna say, yeah, because and that's what whenever I cook a steak, I kind of wait till it's just a little bit like under.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna kind of.
Now, if I was cooking a prime rib, I recently found this technique from my buddy Carlos. You smoke the prime rib 225 till it gets to 115. You pull it out and let it rest for 45 minutes. Then you put it in the oven at 500 degrees until it reaches an internal temperature of about 125, 126. You get a nice sear on it from the hot oven. And you pull it out, you let it rest, and you got a perfect medium rare prime rib. Fucking
That
beautiful.
sounds good, man.
I recently posted a video of the cook on it. I didn't overcook.
Is that the one that you opened up, the big one?
Yeah.
The ones for when the vegans like that
yeah,
one?
yeah, that's when I went vegan. That steak was actually cauliflower.
I love me some cauliflower steaks.
But you see that steak, I didn't overcook the the spinalis.
Yeah.
And to me that's important. I don't want to overcook that part because that's the best part. Of a ribeye.
Yeah.
So that technique, it just, it was perfect. I can't take credit for it, but my boy Carlos, shout out Smoke and Vine.
Okay, gotcha. Smoke and Vine, there we go. Got your shout out, man. That's cool, man. That's cool. Dude, I've had like such a great time talking to you. And I love talking to people who like who know camera stuff and like just because like I'm so interested in it that when I find somebody else and somebody who's like a little more knowledgeable too, it's like I just feel like I can learn so much from them. And so it's been a like pleasure just talking to you and hearing your story and how you got here. Oh, I wanted to ask, like, what brought you to the Central Valley? Like, how did you get here?
So I grew up in Daly City, California.
Okay.
I moved to Antioch, California when I was 16, and that's where I kind of really grew up. At the age of about 21, I moved to Chico. Then I moved back to Antioch, and then I moved to San Diego. I was about 23 at the time when I moved to San Diego. I joined the Army when I was 25. No, I joined the Army when I was 23. I don't remember. 2005, I joined the Army. And, when I...
You joined
Okay, so I joined the Army in 2005, and when I got out and moved back to Antioch... why did I draw a blank right there? This leads me to my next topic. Don't smoke weed. So anyhow, I was living in Antioch in 2009 when I got back. That's where I ran my business out of. And then
for the cinematography and stuff like that?
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Eventually, I ended up moving to Brentwood, California, where, I met my wife now online. We met on Instagram, and her and I moved in.
met my wife on Instagram as well, man.
She was stalking me. She kept liking all my old photos, trying to get me to notice her.
Dude, that's funny because my wife, she went on a road trip, and I went on a road trip at the same exact time, and apparently it was like damn near the same exact road trip through like Utah, Arizona, and back. And then like, so she followed me and I followed her, and she had every single the same picture that I had like just posted on my Instagram. And I was like,
oh shit. On the same path.
Yeah, exactly. And then she just reached out to me, and then ever since then,
you're like, what's up?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So her and I got together, I think it was 2012. 2012, we first hung out. 2013, actually, we first hung out. But her and I moved in together in Brentwood. Eventually, we moved to Stockton. She had lived in Stockton for most of her life. Now, she had grown up in Daly City and went to the same schools as I did.
Oh, really?
I didn't know who she was. So we didn't meet in high school, but we went to the same schools at the same time. We're the same age. Anyhow, so we moved to Stockton. We eventually get married, and we decided to buy a house. One day, we're taking one of our cats that used to be in my cute cat videos when I started TikTok.
Gotcha.
We took
OG.
Yeah, we took the cat to Turlock for some shots.
Oh, Monte Vista?
Yeah.
We still go to that vet too, man.
I'm giving out where I live. Anyhow,
Sorry.
We saw some houses for sale, and we walked in, threw down our information. Everything started getting approved. I had my VA loan. All that got approved. We bought a house, so Turlock is where we're at.
Dude, no, that's awesome, dude. And how do you like the Central Valley?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I worked in Modesto for a while. It's different from living in the city.
Yeah,
It's a lot different. But I like it. It's a little slower. It's not as fast paced. It's not as crowded. You know, you get more selection of good meats, I think, being out here.
Oh, for sure.
You know, we're so close to everything. I mean, we're in fucking walnut country too.
Walnut, almond, whatever, everything country, beef probably too.
Exactly. You know, so the Central Valley is just a great place.
Yeah,
you know,
I love it.
I mean, if we were to talk about water quality, we share the same water with San Francisco. We both get our water from the same place. So,
you get it from Hetch Hetchy too? Isn't that where San Francisco gets theirs from?
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
So we all get the same water. So at least I'm not missing that part of it. But it's slower. It's nice. I'm close to everything.
Yeah.
You know, I've met some great people out here.
Oh yeah, no, and that's the thing too that I think like that's the reason I started this podcast is just because for a long time Central Valley just got a bad rep, and like someone who was born and raised here, like I've seen like so many people talk crap about like whatever city in it, like everyone, it doesn't matter, and like I think just through like the last like 5-10 years, like there's been a big transformation that happened, and then especially after the pandemic, I think we got a stronger community more than ever, and I've just seen that through this podcast and people reaching out and stuff like that. And so,
you know, I love that Stanislaus, San Joaquin County, it's Merced County. It's all just relaxed.
Yeah,
right? Nobody is too afraid of bullshit happening right now.
Yeah,
you know, I'll leave it at that.
yeah. It's just chill. Yeah, it's a chiller place to live.
Yeah,
and I understand that, especially like. People think of California, I always say that, but think of LA, San Francisco, NorCal, but they don't think about like where all where a lot of food comes from, basically. You know what I mean?
And there's so much talent out here.
Dude, there is.
There's so much.
And it's only a matter of time, dude. It's like, the Central Valley is growing. Like there's no way, nothing's slowing down. Like, especially when you come to the cheaper, quote, place to live in California, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're comparing it to LA or the Bay.
Yeah, I mean, my house in the Bay Area would have been probably double what I paid.
Yeah.
You know, and I bought a big house. You know, it's a blessing. It's nice. I like it here. You know, I love that Turlock is a little bit you know, respectful of the military. Where I live, there's like signs and pictures of veterans and active duty members all over the streets. I love that. I love that.
That's awesome. No, I agree, man. I agree. I love the Central Valley. Well, hey, man, I just want to say I appreciate you for coming on. I had a great time talking to you. So why don't you let people know where they can find you at?
Yeah.
I know you did already, but, you know, we'll remind them at the end.
Yeah, so you can find me on TikTok, Woodfire and Whiskey, Instagram, Woodfire_whiskey, YouTube, Woodfire and Whiskey. That sounds repetitive as fuck. And let me check my Snapchat real quick.
No, do it now.
I don't know what it's.
Do it now.
Woodfire Whiskey. I know it's different on some of these platforms.
It's
but hey,
different, but the same.
if you follow me, all your wildest dreams will come true.
There we go. And you'll learn how to cook some good food, you guys.
Hell yeah.
Well, hey, Marco, thank you for being here so much. I really appreciate it, man.
Right on, bro. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course. This is it. Real talk. Whatnot.
Real talk. That's it. Real talk.